We're just mere days away from the 2022 NFL Draft, and it looks like we already have a pretty big change at the top of the draft. For the longest time, everyone thought that Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end out of the University of Michigan, was going to be the number one overall pick. He was the consensus favorite. That was the most NFL-ready prospect in my eyes. Still the most NFL-ready, can't-miss prospect that there is in this entire draft. But all that is going out the window now because Georgia Bulldogs defensive end Travon Walker, yes, Travon Walker is now emerging as the consensus favorite to be the number one overall pick. This comes from Caesar Sportsbook. This also comes from multiple reports that say that the Jacksonville Jaguars, who currently hold the number one overall pick, are dead set on drafting Walker out of Georgia. It is insane to think that it's gotten to this point, and this is not saying that it's a crazy idea for the Jaguars to pick Walker over Hutchinson. Because in my opinion, Walker is a beast himself. This is a man who absolutely bulldozed Alabama and the entire SEC this year on his way to winning a national championship, having a really good season, 6 sacks, I think he had like 7 or 8 tackles for a loss. So he is at least in my eyes the second best defensive lineman in this draft. That's bar none. I would even say that he is better than Kayvon Thibodeau right now. But to take him over Aiden Hutchinson, I don't see it. That does not mean it is the wrong choice. There are obviously multiple people in this draft who are going to end up being great players. There's multiple people in every draft that are going to end up being great players. The bigger question, I should say, that remains is, as we know he's the consensus number one overall pick now, is that going to change because the Jaguars have a change of mind? Or is that going to change because some other team might want him? Because here's the thing. Do I believe that the Jaguars want Travon Walker? Sure. Could I also believe that the Jaguars are floating this out there? Floating these reports, because we've seen this before in drafts. Could I see them floating reports out there that they want Walker over Hutchinson just so someone trades up and puts themselves in a position to draft Walker number one overall, and then they get some multiple first round picks or maybe some other picks and only have to move down a few picks in the draft? Because that's exactly what I believe it was who was it? It was I think it was the San Francisco 49ers, if I'm not mistaken. Whoever traded back with Chicago in 2017. Remember when Chicago traded up like 1 or 2 slots to pick Mitch Trubisky? And I think it was the 49ers. But anyway, that could be also the reason, because right now it's the time to wheel and deal. It's the time to make people think, fake people out. It's the NFL draft. It's a wild ride. If you ask me, I don't think this would be a bad pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They need help anywhere they can get it outside the quarterback position. But for me, I just think Aiden Hutchinson is just that dominant of a player. I think that not picking him is not necessarily going to be a mistake, but you're going to allow another team to potentially the Detroit Lions. If I'm the Lions and Aiden Hutchinson is right there at number 2, I'm taking him. Oh, absolutely. And if that does happen, it's going to be 2 years in a row where that's happened to Detroit, where they've had a top 5 pick, and the guy who was arguably the most NFL ready prospect, the guy who arguably was going to make an impact the day he came onto the field. In last year it was Penei Sewell. This year it could be Aiden Hutchinson. It was right there, and they're going to pick him. I think we could see that situation, and Detroit might end up picking someone that they didn't even think was going to be available at number 2. So it's interesting, but it's the NFL draft. We'll be here covering, though, April 28th live right here on YouTube. Be sure to join us. Be sure to join me. We'll have call-ins. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll be breaking down every single pick of the first round. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know what you guys want to talk about on draft night. hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.